Have you ever just stopped and wondered what everything around you is actually made of? I mean, really, the air, your phone, the food you eat. What is all this stuff? Well, today we're going to break down the fundamental building blocks of all matter. We're talking elements, compounds, and mixtures. So let's start with something we all know, right? A salad. It looks pretty complex. You've got sprouts, tomatoes, onions, just a whole bunch of different things tossed together in one bowl. And this simple salad, believe it or not, is going to help us answer that huge question, what is all this stuff really made of? And the first big answer, the first piece of the puzzle, is that most of the world, including that salad, is a mixture. It's not just one single thing. It's a jumble of different substances all thrown together. So what exactly do we mean by mixture? Well, it's when you combine two or more things. But, and this is super important, they don't chemically react. Each ingredient just hangs on to its own identity. In our salad, right, the tomato is still a tomato, and the onion is still an onion, even when they're sitting right next to each other. Okay, but here's where it starts to get a little tricky. Not all mixtures are as obvious as a salad. You can basically split them into two big types, and it all comes down to one simple question. Can you actually see the different parts? Just look at the difference here. On the left, that's our salad, a classic, non-uniform mixture. You can easily pick out the different bits. But on the right, that's sugar dissolved in water. The sugar is definitely still there, but you can't see it anymore. That's what we call a uniform mixture. So to put it another way, in non-uniform mixtures, you can see all the separate components. But in uniform mixtures like that sugar water or even the air we're breathing right now, everything is so perfectly blended that you just can't tell the parts from each other. Okay, so we've got a handle on mixtures. Most things are mixtures, but what about the things that aren't? What do we call a substance when it's made of only one single type of stuff? Well, that, my friends, brings us to pure substances. A pure substance is, well, it's pure. It's incredibly consistent. It's made up of only one kind of particle, and every single one of those particles is absolutely identical. Think of pure water or pure sugar before you've mixed it into anything. But we can't stop there. The rabbit hole goes deeper. Are all these pure substances the simplest form of matter you can get? Or can we break them down even further? You know what? Let's find out with a couple of classic experiments. First up, pure water. It's a pure substance, right? It's just H2O. But what do you think would happen if we decided to pass a little electric current through it? Any guesses? The setup is actually really simple. We take some water, and because pure water doesn't conduct electricity very well, we add a little drop of acid to help it along. Then, we just pass a current from a regular 9-volt battery right through it. And the result is so cool. The water actually splits apart. It decomposes into two totally different, simpler substances, hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. So yeah, water is pure, but it's not the end of the line. It's made of other stuff. All right, let's try another pure substance, sugar. It's just sugar. But what happens if we just, heat it up in a test tube? So when you heat it, the sugar turns black and you can see little water droplets forming. It's breaking down, and it's breaking down into two completely different substances, a black solid, which is carbon, and water. See, we did it again. We broke a pure substance into simpler parts. Okay, and this brings us to a really crucial point. Pure substances actually come in two flavors. Those simpler parts we ended up with, like oxygen and carbon, those are elements. These are the true fundamental building blocks of the universe. You can't break them down any further. But the things we started with, the water and the sugar, those are compounds. They're pure, sure, but they're made of two or more elements that are chemically bonded together. To really drive this idea home, let's stage a little final showdown. We're going to take the exact same two ingredients, iron and sulfur, and we're going to treat them in two different ways. This is going to show you the dramatic night and day difference between a simple mixture and a chemical compound. Just look at this. In sample A, we just mix iron filings and sulfur powder. You can still see the separate bits, and a magnet can easily pull the iron right out. It's just a mixture. But in sample B, we heat that same mixture. A chemical reaction happens, and it creates a totally new substance, iron sulfide. A magnet does nothing to it now, and it reacts completely differently with acid. It's not a mixture anymore. It has become a compound with brand new properties. So let's do a super quick recap of the big four ideas. A mixture is just a physical jumble of stuff, no chemical bonds. A pure substance is made of only one type of particle. An element is the simplest pure substance. You can't break it down. And a compound is a pure substance made from elements that are chemically locked together. And I want to leave you with this thought. That smartphone in your pocket, it is a complex little machine built from over 45 different elements, all combined into countless compounds and mixtures. So now that you know the difference, here's my question for you. Can you look at the world around you a little differently now? Can you see it not just as stuff, but as this incredible collection of elements, compounds, and mixtures?